Welcome, friends. Again, the last test worked so well, I thought I would share the Dharma talk with you, just me in the room by myself. But if you see this on YouTube or Facebook, you can see what we talked about today at the temple. Welcome as you turn the stream on. It's good that you're here this afternoon. We're always happy when people can visit us, either by streaming or in person. So today I want to talk about peace. Not peace as a slogan, not peace as the result of war where one team wins and then it's kind of peaceful because they won. I want to talk about a kind of peace that does not take sides and still does not turn away from suffering. Peace that is brave and gentle at the same time. We all have heard about the Walk for Peace. A group of Buddhist priests from Texas walked 2,300 miles to Washington, D.C. The walkers gave Dharma talks on mindfulness and portrayed peace as they walked along. We got a call last week asking if our Buddhist temple was going to have something special in honor of the Walk for Peace completing to D.C. And we said, yes, we will have a special event on Sunday. And this is that special event. We're glad you're here. Many people in the United States feel that if you care about injustice, you must be loud, passionate, and angry. You must pick a side. If you're calm, people think you don't care. So we try to stay angry enough to prove that we are good. It is exhausting. It is not peace. It is still war, only with better slogans. What war sounds like when you are on the good side. Buddhism offers another way. It is not passive. It is what Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh called a third way. It does not join on one side against the other. It takes the side of life. It takes the side of people who suffer on either side. It refuses to create enemies. The Buddha gave us a very simple law of the heart. I'm sure you've heard it from the Dhammapada. Hatred never ceases by hatred. By love alone does hatred cease. This is an eternal law. End quote. If that is true, then any strategy that relies on hatred, even for a good cause, is already working against peace. You cannot pour gasoline on a fire and call it firefighting. You cannot water the seeds of anger and call it compassion. Let's look at 3 pictures of this third way. From the time of the Buddha, one from the time Thich Nhat Hanh and during the Vietnam War, and one that just happened on the road to Washington, D.C. First, the reading that's in a previous YouTube from the Buddha creating peace in the water war. 2 neighbors, the Shakyans and the Kolyans, shared the water of the Rohini River. In a drought, the farmers on both sides argued over irrigation. Who gets the water? Whose side is right? Harsh words fed old resentments. Soon, the kings gathered their soldiers. 2 armies faced each other across the river, ready to kill over water and pride. The Buddha saw this and went to the river. In some tellings, he levitates above the center of the river. Floating Buddha is hard to ignore. He calls both sides to come forward. And he does not ask who is right. He does not say, my home clan is the Shakyan, so I support Shakya. No. He starts with questions. What is more valuable, water or the lives of these sons and brothers? How much is water worth? How much is a human life worth? The kings and generals answer, "Of course, the lives of our people are worth more than water. Water is cheap. Life is priceless." The Buddha then shows them the fevered madness that has overtaken them. You are ready to spill priceless blood for something you just told me is worth nothing. You are ready to kill your own relatives for a little water and a lot of pride. When they see this clearly, the war fever breaks. Weapons lower, the two sides sit down and work out a fair way to share the river. Notice that the Buddha does not take a side. What he does not do. He does not pit one against the other. He does not judge rightness or wrongness. He does not stand on the Shakyan bank and yell at the Kolyans that they are like monkeys in the jujube tree, which is an insult at the time. It's just funny to us. But he also does not wash his hands and walk away. He steps into the middle. He stands with life without taking sides. He holds up a mirror so both sides see their delusion. He refuses to bludgeon hatred with hatred. He invites both to let love and wisdom lead. Bringing this into your own life, in your family or your workplace, your online life, what is your water? What is the small thing that you treat as though it was more important than friendships, more important than what you might lose? Is it an opinion, a grudge, the need to feel morally superior to the other people? What lives are you risking? That's the other side. What will you lose in this conflict? You lose trust or connection. Your own peace of mind can be lost. Are you ready to sacrifice those for your water? If so, you are standing on the bank of the Rohini River with a spear in your hand. A second picture. Thich Nhat Hanh in the Vietnam War. He was then a young monk, and when his country was split by huge forces, north and south, communist and capitalist, each side said, if you are moral, you must support us, and if you are neutral, you must support them. That sounds familiar. He and his friends did not hide in the monastery. They organized schools. They rebuilt bombed villages. They helped war orphans and widows. They brought food and medicine to dangerous places. They spoke against war and called for an end to destruction. They did everything they could to protect life. But they refused to support either government. They refused to pick a side in the war. Thich Nhat Hanh wrote that the most effective way to peace was not to support either of the two sides, but rather to support the Vietnamese people who seek a third way, a way of achieving peace. He knew that if he joined one bloc against the other, he would become one more piece on the chessboard of war, a player, a part of war itself. He would lose the ability to speak to both sides. He would lose the ability to carry the suffering of one side to the other. He said, when we take sides, we lose the power to reconcile. This was not comfortable. It got him attacked by both sides. One side accused him of helping the enemy because they helped a village that was under enemy's control, and then the other side said the same thing. It's like today. When you say, I care about everyone is suffering in this conflict, someone replies, then you are my enemy. Thich Nhat Hanh lived the Dhammapada line very directly. Hatred is never ceased by hatred. If he joined one side's hatred, he would just be adding more hatred to a country already drowning in hatred. So, he chose compassionate action for everyone who suffered, villagers from the north and the south. He consoled soldiers from both sides who came to him in torment. He helped refugees. That is the Buddha's verse in real modern form. Thich Nhat Hanh's nickname, also warned that if we work for peace out of anger, we will fail. There is no fighting for peace, because the energy we use manifests in the result. If we water the seeds of anger in ourselves, then no matter how correct our position is, we spread anger. We are still trying to win and defeat, not to heal. This is hard to hear. It is also a relief. You do not need to live in constant rage to be a good person. You are allowed to care in a different way, a third way. A third picture. The Buddhist priests walking for peace across the United States that we celebrate today. They walked through 10 states. They walked in the sun and the rain and the snow. Sometimes it was hot and sometimes it was frigid cold. They call this pilgrimage a walk for peace. Their purpose is to promote peace, compassion, unity, and healing. They are clear that they do not walk for a party or a candidate. They do not campaign for a policy. They do not shout about who must be defeated. They stand on the earth and they walk. Their way of speaking is gentle. They chant and they smile. They offer short Dharma talks at churches and community centers along the way. They talk about peace in your heart and peace in your hands. They invite people to sit, breathe, and listen. One writer said, their walk is not loud protest, but a soft, steady, peaceful presence, turning compassion into one step after another. That sounds right. They are not taking sides. They are doing third way peace work. They clearly say no to violence and hatred. They clearly want an end to war and division. But they refuse to turn anyone into an enemy. They do not shout at anyone. They walk with the Dhammapada verse in their feet. By love alone is hatred washed away. One small step at a time. So we have these three images. The Buddha between two armies on the Rohini River, Thich Nhat Hanh in a country at war, helping all who suffer, and the priests on the road chanting to show peace. All show the same fundamental law of nature. Hatred cannot heal hatred. Only love can heal hatred. It is not just poetry. It is a practical instruction. What does this mean for us? We who are not mediating wars, we are living through our own smaller conflicts. Family tensions, workplace drama, social media flame sessions. Think of one conflict in your life now. It may be with a family member, with someone at work, even a conflict with yourself. See that situation and walk quietly with it. Ask, what is my water here? What am I clinging to that I treat as more important than the relationship? My opinion, my status, my group identity. Then ask, what are the lives I am risking? Maybe trust, or the future of understanding. It may be your own health, your own peace. Ask, am I trying to fix this by feeding hatred with more hatred? It might be small, polite hatred, the cold withdrawal, or expert sarcasm. No, says the Buddha. Instead, the Buddha invites us to step into the middle of the river, to listen to both sides in our own heart, to remember that each side is suffering and wants to be safe and happy, but they are confused. Thich Nhat Hanh invites us to take the side of suffering itself, to ask, in any situation, who is suffering here? And how can I reduce the suffering of people on both sides? The priests on the road invite us to put peace into our bodies. Maybe we will not walk across America, but we can walk across the room and apologize. We can walk toward a hard conversation instead of stomping out of the room. Sometimes the important radical action is to close the laptop and make a cup of tea for someone who needs you. Anger still appears. It's natural, like the pain when you touch a hot stove. It tells you something is wrong, but you do not keep your hand on the stove. You do not live inside anger. The practice is to feel it, bow to it as a messenger, and then let compassion and wisdom decide what to do. We say, the anger can ride in the car, but it does not get to drive. This peace work is not easy work. Our culture trains us to take sides and to win above all. Outrage feels so powerful, but it is weakness. It also wears us down. So the third way takes courage. People may say, you are not angry enough. You do not care. When this happens, remember the Buddha at the river, or the monk in the bombed-out village, or the orange robes walking on the highway shoulder. They are calm. They are not weak. So maybe this week, when you feel yourself gearing up to win an argument, pause. Feel your feet on the ground. Take 3 calming breaths. Remember, hatred never ceases by hatred. By love alone does hatred cease. This is eternal law. And then ask, what would love look like here? Bring up your courage. Love as non-harming, love as listening, love as a firm no to suffering, without a no to any human beings. Thank you for your kind attention. May you be happy. May you be free from harm. May you receive boundless compassion. And may peace and harmony fill your heart. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.